Hey, folks, my guest today is Eris Vern. He's the CEO and founder of ALFIND, or AllFinder, which lets companies get a deep understanding over their ideal customers. It helps you understand exactly what your likes, hobbies, interests, and pain points mean. By using AI, they're able to figure out all these things out. So when you market your company, you're able to write your marketing copy, your case studies, everything more accurately. Eris, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it. All
It's
right.
not AllFinder, it's AI Finder, right?
Well, it's Alfinder actually. So it's
That is
Alfinder
very
already all.
that is very confusing because you're using AI, but it's AllFinder. I was very
That
confused how
is
to pronounce it. Doesn't that
well,
create
it's
a branding
confusing, but it's
problem?
also yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's a good tweak on AI and Alfinder already all finder. That was the whole idea behind the name. But it does heavily indicate the AI aspect. Here's the deal with Alfinder. It's a very unique project that I'm working on right now. And the best way to describe it is that, let's say right now, the normal bread and butter, AI company marketing, that the process that they go through is that they look at the market, they see when to post something, they look at the historic data. There's so much data out there, so many tests out there that you can see for that industry based off of that customer. Let's say, when is it best to, I don't know, post on Instagram, for example, and then they use that trend to reflect on their customers. There are plenty of softwares out there. How we look at it is somewhat completely from an inverse perspective, such that, let's say you have a bookshelf behind you. That's pretty convenient as an example. So let's say I look at your bookshelf and say, oh, these are the books that are there. So based off of those books, you probably are going to like this one. But that's going to be most likely it's going to be wrong, because you might
Eris,
actually.
sorry, I want to jump in. We're all over the place. I want to set some context first, and then we can talk more about the product. So,
Okay.
who's buying this product first off? Who's the customer?
Oh, marketing agencies.
Okay, marketing agencies specifically. And what are they paying on
Yeah.
average per month to use the technology?
A couple of thousand,
Okay,
one
so
to seven, depending on
you're
their
sort of
plan.
like mid market moving towards the enterprise agency.
Yes.
Okay, and on the timeline, when did you launch the business? What year?
Last year.
Oh, so brand new.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Well, we've
have you?
been working on it for a couple of years. It takes a lot of time to, get the AI engine up and running, but we launched last year on a beta notice.
Okay, got it. And are you bootstrapping, or did you decide to raise capital?
Bootstrapping, we raise a little, mostly on my own from previous exits, but we are bootstrapping.
How much of your own money or from angels did you end up putting in at the start?
I put about 100,000, and I have about a 200K outside investment from angels.
Got it. So 300,000 bucks total. Now, when you say you put in 100 grand, we want to get in the entrepreneur's mindset here. I mean, is that a lot for you? Is that your whole savings? Do you have to make this work?
No, it's not. It's a pretty conservative amount.
Okay, so why not go all in? Why not plow all your money in, build faster, grow faster, go quick?
Oh, that's a good question. It's money doesn't always get you. It doesn't help you get there faster, especially with such an AI. It's such a huge risk on such an AI, because we don't have a product that we are trying to, let's say, automate it with AI. The whole thing is an AI, engine that we train it, and then we find use cases for it. So the the very initial idea of mine, coming from some AI backgrounds, was that, can we do behavioral analysis on people, understand the end customer, and say this is the best way to get to them? Okay. Now, when we do succeed on the training of that AI with loads of data and so on and so forth, then we are able to build a product on top of it, and then, find out what's the best market, what's the best user for our product, which consequently is going to help them, gain, let's say, more customers on their end.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your Founder Path dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of Founder Path, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Understood. Now, do you have any customers today, or are you guys still pre-revenue?
We are brand new. We've had a couple of crazy beta testers, huge companies, international companies. Locally, we have, there are upwards of 200 people that beta tested it and they have an account, from marketing strategists all the way to very small marketing agencies. Nothing crazy, I want to say. I guess that comes down to my standards, but we do have solid traction.
Okay, but just back to my question. So do you have paying customers today, or are you pre-revenue?
We're pre-revenue.
Okay, pre-revenue.
We're all beta testers.
So let's walk through, it sounds like you have a healthy beta sort of pipeline. So how did you get 200 people signed up for your beta over the past 12 months?
Outreach, cold outreach. It's a very interesting product, to say the least. Okay, going inside a strategist mindset or a very small, marketing agency's founder owner, telling them you don't have to come up, let's say per se, for a marketing strategy, and this software generates the strategy for you, and you can only focus. After the strategy, focus on executing, implementing that strategy, monitoring all the data on the ad platforms. That's a huge relief for them, because that's the biggest
again. I totally get the product. My question was how you got 200 people to pay attention, right? So when you say cold outreach,
it's an amazing product. It's very
okay. It doesn't matter. You can have an amazing product and no one knows about you, so it doesn't matter, right? So my question
it's easy to convince people.
My question is specifically, how did you get these people to pay attention? Right.
So when you pipeline wise, well, LinkedIn mainly.
Okay. So what specifically did you do on LinkedIn? What was who did you target? Eris, let me finish my question. Who were you targeting? What was the title of the person? And what was typically the copy of the first message you sent?
These are all marketing strategists and small marketing agency owners.
Okay. So you're targeting literally marketing strategists as title on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Okay. Can you target small agency owner on LinkedIn and get a list? I don't think anyone calls himself a small agency owner, do they?
No, but you can do marketing agencies, branding agencies, and then filter based on the size and the revenue and so on and so forth.
That's what I'm looking for. So you search for branding agencies. You filter by what size usually?
Normally from 700K to 5 million revenue.
LinkedIn gives you revenue data to filter by?
You can, yes.
Okay. Are you paying for that in Sales Navigator?
Yes.
I see. Okay. Got it. That makes sense. Okay. So, and then what does the message say? What's the first message say?
Well, it's a very short introduction to the product. And having them sign up for a demo, and then I'll show a demo to them, different use cases, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, but I get those emails all the time in my LinkedIn. I ignore all of them. So what did you put in your copy
Right.
that got 200 people to sign up?
Okay. It mostly comes down to examples. That's at least what we've tried, and then it's proved perfectly, such that we say, okay, this is the process that you go through, and we know that, so they know that. It's very convincing to them. It's not like an advertisement. It's like, this is a process that you go through based off of who you are within that agency, let's say, and this is going to help you with that specific aspect of it.
Okay, got it. Can you get, instead of using like that specific aspect and we know what you go through, can you actually like read to me sort of what that copy sounds like?
Right. So here's what goes through an agency when they let's say onboard a new customer. They go through their data. They're asked quite a bit of questions about their industry.
Eric, sorry, just to be clear, is this the email? This is the LinkedIn message you're sending me. You're reading me that message.
Scope basically of the message. Oh, okay. You want the exact message? So this is how it goes. Let's say, hey, X person, this is who I am. This is the company, blah, blah, blah. As part of your process, you do a lot of research on your own, and you use softwares that use static data, mainly historic data, to derive marketing strategies, rather gaining knowledge to create the strategy on your own. Our software does all of that for you with a click of a button.
Okay, what's the call to action?
Well, they book a demo, and then I show them a demo.
So just click here to book a demo.
Exactly.
People respond to that, huh?
Yes, they do.
Interesting. Okay, so that's how you get 200 beta users signed up. Why is no one paying yet?
Well, they're all beta testers. We are still collecting a lot of data. One thing to point out about the marketing industry is that specifically anything relating to the whole process of onboarding a customer to deploying a strategy on all the ad platforms, it's not that you can't tell them, hey, try it for 30 days for free and then see what happens, because they can't rely on the, specifically for our case, for Alfinder, they can't use a strategy, deploy it, and then see if it failed or if it's succeeding in 30 days. Most strategies take like maybe up to 3 months to 6 months to understand if that strategy is actually working. So we are monitoring all these beta testers. We're encouraging them to keep using the strategy generated by our platform, implementing them, and then at some point where we have solid feedback from those users, then we have a very bright green light to.
When were your first beta testers signed up?
About a year and a half ago.
Okay, so you just said they need about 6 months to see traction. So if there's people that have been with you for a year and a half, why are none of them converted to paid yet?
Well, the more we move forward, we have more data. We can't just collect data from 10 beta testers. We need a lot of data just to let's say have a good solid proof for the platform, let alone the investing aspect of it.
I mean, what if you spend all this time getting more and more data? You finally have a lot of data and then no one wants to pay. You just wasted 4 years of your life.
That's the beauty of an entrepreneur life.
Yeah, but isn't a smart entrepreneur going to try and hedge that by trying to sell the idea ahead of time or get to revenue as quickly as possible?
Well, here's the thing. We can get to revenue. Comes down to my mindset as a founder. We can get to revenue as soon as possible. We can charge these beta testers like cheap, let's say a couple of $100, and then get to quote unquote revenue. But what's the point of that? We're building something far bigger, because the moment we integrate into the any agency's environment, Alfinder is going to be the only software that they're going to use.
They're going to cancel all their other software.
They don't need anything else, because right now they use softwares to get data, to look at industry, research and all that. But with Alfinder, you don't have to integrate any type of data that you already have. We already have all the data we need. We just ask questions about your customer, your client, and then the goal is to make you independent of even the businesses of any marketing agency. So you do that, generate the strategies. You get a couple of options, you select one, and then you directly launch from Alfinder. You select, let's say, Google platform, and then you launch.
So your success is directly correlated to your ability to convince marketing agencies to cancel all their other software.
To a degree, yes.
you've created a lot of friction for yourself. I'm trying to figure out why.
Oh, well, go big or go home, I
Or maybe
guess.
people don't want to pay for it, right? And so your answer is we haven't tried to get people to pay for it.
Well, we have. We've had the two big companies that I told you about. We've had contracts. Those contracts totaled about $150,000 in 9 months. So we tested with them. They're huge companies, so they have, let's say, as part of their R&D, budget. We've had 4 months of free for them, and then if they decided to move forward, we entered into a paid contract. So it's foolproof, but that's a bigger,
Have you've collected that cash, that 150
yes,
grand is in your bank account?
that is right. Right. So we had like beta, paid pilots, if you wish, and those are big companies. It's only a matter we're launching in like 2 months or so as part of we're raising another round right before we launch, and then
You've only raised 300 grand to date, though, or have you raised other capital?
yeah, we're trying to raise another couple of million seed stage before launch, and then we're planning on launching mid-March ish.
Why raise so much capital? I mean, it's your seed and your pre-seed and your seed are the most dilutive ever.
Well,
And you told me in your bio you've had multiple exits in the quote 7 and 8 figures. So why would you
yes,
sell big chunks of the company pre-revenue?
that's a great question. Well, going back to like my exit, it's not a matter of me pumping so much money into it. The connections within the industry comes from the money that we gain. The 2 million, the couple of million is worth almost nothing. I don't care about the zeros in front of the cash in the bank account, rather the connections that comes with that capital. That's the biggest gain. Okay. And that's why I'm very selective on who I raise from. But
Yeah, but there are
regardless,
many ways to get people close to your company without letting them buy a massive chunk of the business. Otherwise everyone would always have to sell a big chunk of their business to get anyone to care about them, which is not true.
well, when you say big chunk, that's like up to the team, right? We're not really selling a big chunk. Now, to
Well, how much
answer
do
the
you think?
first
How
part of the
much do you think
question,
if you raise $2 million pre-revenue? How much do you think you're going to sell of the business?
high single digits.
Okay, so you think you can convince people to give you, let's say you sell 10%. You think you can convince people to give you a $20 million pre-money valuation
Yes,
with
based on the
no
IP
revenue?
that we have. Yes, based on the IP that we have, the like AI engine that we
Where's
have.
the IP coming from? If you had 30 engineers that have been coding for 2 years, I'd get it. But you have 2 people listed as employees on LinkedIn. So what's the IP?
So that's going back to the first part of your question. So the main need for the capital is to move our development team engineers from offshore to onshore.
How many people are full time today?
Offshore about 7.
Are they full time?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
got
they're
it. So,
contract based, but they are working for us. So
okay,
yeah,
but it's you plus 7, so 8 total.
8 total. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Which country do you decide to work with, by the way? Is it Eastern Europe or Argentina or somewhere else?
No, India mainly. India and
Interesting.
Pakistan. Pakistan on the AI side, mainly India on the on the web side, let's say.
Yep.
That,
Yep. That makes sense. Interesting. Well, look, I'm certainly rooting for you. I mean, is there a plan to ask these big 2 enterprise accounts to start paying a monthly fee outside of their big pilot since they paid 150
when
grand
that
total?
starts, so we will notify them, and then the paid process starts the moment we launch. So the moment we officially launch,
Which is
and have
when?
a solid before April.
Okay.
Okay.
And
The moment we launch,
you're gonna try and get them to pay something like 3 to 4 to 5 grand a month when you launch in April.
yes. Well, they've been testing this software. I want to say like maybe 30% of them for at least a couple of months. Most of them signed up. It's exponential. So the person who signed up a year and a half ago, or that chunk of people are not so many out of the 200 that we have. So most of them signed up like recently, and out of that, we will convince them. Obviously, some will not continue, but that's not going to be a huge percentage.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. We're rooting for you. In the meantime, though, let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Business book. It's not really a business book, but the Atomic Habits, I would say, was the best one. Helped
Atomic
me in
Habits,
business.
James Clear. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Steve Jobs all the time.
Number
Only one.
3, what's your favorite online tool for building Allfinder?
Type 4.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Oh, I don't even count. I don't know. Sometimes 4, sometimes, I don't know, 6, 7.
All right. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Single.
Okay. And how old are you?
22.
22. Last question. Something you wish you knew 2 years ago when you were 20.
Some connections are way too overrated.
Says the guy who says he wants to raise $2 million for more connections. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, though, guys, allfinder.com launched. He started working on it, called a year and a half, 2 years ago. Has 2 big beta customers that have paid 150 grand already total on pilots. Hoping to be able to charge them a monthly fee starting in April of 2, 3, 4, 5 grand a month. We'll see what happens. But today, pre-revenue in terms of SaaS, $300,000 raised, closing a $2 million ish round right now. We'll see what happens again to help make marketing agencies way more efficient. Aris, thanks for taking us to the top.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.